This is continuous coverage.
Continuous coverage.
In the trial of Lori Vallow Daybell from the Hidden Killers podcast.
Hidden Killers podcast.
I'm Tony Bruschi. Thanks for joining us. Here's the latest account of what happened in court this morning in the trial of Lori Vallow Daybell. On September 22nd, 2019, Melanie Gibb, a key witness in the case against Lori Vallow Daybell, observed the last time she saw 7-year-old Joshua J.J. Vallow. Gibb, who is now testifying in the trial, has shared intricate details of her friendship with Lori and Lori's relationship with Chad Daybell. Melanie Gibb and Lori Vallow Daybell met in 2018 during a church event and became close friends. Gibb had met Chad Daybell a year or two before she met Lori, but they were not close friends. The relationship between Lori and Chad took a very different turn in 2019 when they first met at a conference in Utah. Lori, already a fan of Chad's books, was immediately attracted to him, and the two engaged in intimate conversations about their shared beliefs. Lori and Chad both believed in the concept of multiple probations, the idea that individuals could live multiple lives on Earth. Lori confided in Gibb that Chad had told her that they had been married in previous lives. Lori claimed that she had been married to the prophet Moroni from the Book of Mormon in a past life, and that Chad and Lori had been sealed together by Moroni and Jesus Christ in the LDS temple. In January of 2019, Lori's behavior then began to change, according to Gibb, as she started moving around, saying and staying with her brother Alex Cox, then in Hawaii, Texas, and then back to Arizona by July of 2019. Lori's relationship with her children, Tylee and JJ, began to deteriorate as well. Gibb noticed that Lori was less focused on JJ and more distracted. Tylee, on the other hand, often appeared upset and frustrated with her mother. Lori's beliefs started to take a darker turn when she became convinced that certain people, including her husband, Charles Vallow, were, quote, dark, unquote, and had signed contracts with Satan. Melanie testified that Lori believed Charles, Brandon Bordeaux, which is Melanie's ex-husband, one of Lori's brothers, not Alex, Lori's father, Tylee, Kay, and JJ, were all dark, and random people were also labeled as such. Gibb recounted the casting ceremonies that Lori introduced to her, which involved prayers to cast out evil spirits from people's bodies. The first casting Melanie participated in was with Lori and a group of women at the Zulma Pasteen's house. Lori believed that Charles was the first person she ever called dark, and she conducted multiple castings to rid him of evil spirits. During Gibb's testimony, Melanie detailed Lori's phone call to her in November, in which Lori claimed that the police were dark and JJ's life was in danger. Lori asked Melanie to take pictures of random kids at a movie theater and send them to the police, pretending that JJ was with her. Melanie, however, did not comply and ignored the calls from police, unsure of what to do at that time. Melanie also spoke about her last visit to Lori's house in September of 2019. She noted Lori and Chad's affectionate behavior towards each other and recounted an incident where Chad took an upset JJ upstairs. When asked why his neck was red, Chad responded that JJ had scratched him. Melanie never saw JJ again after that night and only occasionally spoke with Lori. She did not return to Idaho to see Lori again. In November and around Thanksgiving, Charles met Melanie, warning her that the Rexburg police would be calling and asking her not to answer the phone. Melanie described Lori's conversations with her about being intimate with Chad while Charles and Tammy were still alive. Lori justified her actions by claiming that it was God's will, since they'd been married in multiple lives and had a mission together. Lori also believed that Charles wanted to kill her and that Tammy, Chad's wife, was aware of the relationship and would pass away soon to make way for their union. Lori was convinced that their actions were sanctioned by the divine. In December of 2019, Lori and Chad got married in Hawaii just weeks after Tammy Daybell's death. The union raised suspicions among both their families and the community. Melanie noticed that Lori and Chad seemed untroubled by the ongoing investigations into deaths of Charles Vallow and Tammy Daybell and the disappearance of their children, Tylee and JJ. During the trial, Melanie shared how Lori and Chad's belief led them to form a group called the 144,000, named after a number mentioned in the book of Revelation. They believed that they were part of the chosen people who would help usher in the second coming of Christ. Members of this group, including Lori, Chad, Melanie, and others, held meetings to discuss their spiritual beliefs and experiences. As the trial progressed, Melanie revealed that she'd been recording conversations with Lori and Chad unbeknownst to them for a while. These recordings proved crucial evidence in the case against the couple. They captured Lori and Chad discussing their bizarre beliefs, the nature of light and dark spirits, and their involvement in casting ceremonies to expel evil spirits. And by the way, side note to you listeners, we have those recordings and they are on the podcast feed. If you look back just a little ways, we have them there for you to listen to. Melanie admitted that she initially hesitated to come forward with information due to her fear of the consequences and the impact it might have on her life. However, as the investigation deepened, she decided to cooperate with law enforcement and share her intimate knowledge of Chad and Lori's beliefs. In June of 2020, the authorities discovered the remains of Tylee and JJ in Chad Daybell's backyard. These heartbreaking discoveries shook the community and intensified the case against Lori and Chad. As a key witness, Melanie's testimony certainly has helped the prosecution build a strong case against the couple. Melanie expressed her profound grief and regret over the fate of Tylee and JJ. She acknowledged that she had been misled by Lori and Chad's manipulations and that she wished she had acted differently. She continued on in her testimony with detailed accounts of the beliefs in Lori and Chad, what they shared, including their theories about vibrations and the idea of multiple probations or lives. According to Melanie, Lori told her that vibrations were equal to one's level of spirituality. If someone had a vibration level of 1,000, they would be at a terrestrial level. As vibrations increase, the closer the body would be to being translated. Lori did not claim to have visions, but she mentioned having dreams occasionally. Lori also told Melanie that her own vibration level was so high that she didn't need to eat and her menstrual cycle could change. Melanie also testified about the weekend she stayed at Lori's house. During that time, Melanie stayed in Tylee's room while her boyfriend David slept in JJ's room. David woke up feeling very troubled from a dream, and Melanie tried to contact Lori and Chad to ask for a blessing for David, but they did not respond to her texts. Melanie's testimony revealed that Lori and Chad tried to convince her that she was part of the 144,000, but she never felt it was her calling. When Thomas, the defense attorney, suggested that casting sounded like witchcraft, Melanie said that it didn't feel like that to her, linking it to casting out spirits similar to what Jesus did. Melanie also mentioned her uncertainty about the couple's teachings on zombies, which she partially believed but found troubling. She expressed concern about their behavior, saying it did not represent someone who would know Christ at that level. During a phone call between Melanie, Chad, and Lori, played in the courtroom, Melanie confronts the couple about JJ's location. Lori insists JJ is safe and happy, but she refuses to reveal his whereabouts. Chad also argues that sharing JJ's location would put everyone in danger. Melanie tells Lori that if she really loved her, she wouldn't have lied to the police, and that JJ was with Melanie. The call ends with Lori asserting that Jesus Christ is protecting her and will continue to do so against the accusations made by Melanie. When asked about Tammy Daybell's death, Melanie told Lori, claimed that Tammy had a dark entity inside of her and that they would need to do what they could to remove the spirit. Melanie also testified that Lori was very happy to marry Chad after Tammy's death and did not express any sadness or sorrow. Thomas, the defense attorney, sought to have Melanie Gibb's testimony struck from the record because he claimed the prosecutor did not furnish statements from Gibb to the defense. However, the judge denied the motion to strike the testimony, stating that the objection was unfounded. As the trial proceeds, Melanie Gibb's testimony provides critical insight into Lori and Chad's beliefs and actions, shedding light on the events leading up to the tragic deaths of JJ and Tylee Ryan. Her accounts of the couple's teachings and behavior, as well as her own growing concern about their actions, will likely continue to play a significant role in the trial as the day continues to unfold. We'll have more updates for you from the courtroom as the day progresses, with full audio from the day's trial when we receive it from the court later this evening.
This is continuous coverage.
Continuous coverage.
In the trial of Lori Vallow Daybell from the Hidden Killers podcast.
Hidden Killers podcast.